too much rain. I try to keep her away from pain, 'cause my baby hates to cry. Too much rain, try to keep her away from pain, 'cause my baby hates to cry. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, 'cause it gets rough along the way. Except now this song sounds strange, it's just because I don't know how to pray. Oh, won't you give her peace of mind? And if you ever find the time, won't you tell her I miss her every day? Of mine, and if you ever find the time, won't you tell her I miss her every day? Hey Lord, take a look all around tonight and find out where my baby's gonna be. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, like she is far across the sea. Hey Lord, will you look out for her tonight and make sure that she's gonna be alright, things are gonna be alright with me. With me. I go when there's nobody else to turn to? Who do I talk to when nobody wants to listen? Who do I lean on when there's no foundation stable? I go to the rock, I know he is able. I go to the rock, I go to the rock for my salvation. I go to the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountain, and the mountain stands by me. When all the earth around me is sinking sand, on Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, I go to the rock. Where do I go when the storms of life are threatening? Who do I turn to when those winds of sorrow blow? Is there refuge in the time of tribulation? I go to the rock, I know he is able. I go to the rock, I know he's the rock for my salvation. I know he's the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountain, and the mountain stands by me. When all the earth around me is sinking sand, I'm shelter, I go to the rock. When I need a shelter, when I need a shelter, when I need a shelter, when I need a shelter. Salvation, I go to the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountains, and the mountain stands by me. When all the earth around me is sinking sand, on Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, when I need a shelter, when I need shelter, I go to the rock. Where do I go? I go to the rock. I go. I go to the rock. Sing us a song. You're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you all here on this more moderate summer's evening, because we're all in the mood for a melody of sorts, and you've got us feeling all right. I hope that's true. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, 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 la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, I hope you are, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets in my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke. Oh, he'll light up his smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Pretty good crowd for a Sunday. Well, there are about 5 of us.
actually including the guest. I mean, that's not a bad number on a Sunday night, I suppose. Anyway, Sue, how are you doing, kiddo? Are you
I'm sorry, I'm just about to try and put myself on. There we are. I'm in the corner.
Thank you.
I'm in the corner.
And all that time to do that, and you waited until then to do it. I mean, what are you doing? What do I pay you for?
You pay me for nothing. Oh, you got your first test card. Well done.
Don't start with the test cards
3 minutes, 50 seconds in, and you've already got your first test card.
I mean, I try. I do try. I give her a massive amount of money every month. Don't I, Sue?
You are very trying.
Sorry? What? And what do I get for it? What do I get for it? I ask you, what have you ever given to me, apart from a kidney?
Yes, that's right. It trumps all.
I don't want to hear. We're not talking about Trump today. Trump is of absolutely no interest to me whatsoever. Sue.
Jonathan?
A good week, a bad week, a medium week. It's been a medium week.
Not the week that we expected. I would say it's not the week we expected. We thought we were going to have a few days pootling out, enjoying the sunshine, going to nice places.
Staycation, otherwise known as.
Staycation. And unfortunately, Jonathan.
Return.
Yes.
A return to Vertigo.
Return to Vertigo.
And, well, I never really left, to be honest.
No.
So it was it's been going back and forward each morning. I wake up, and if it's a morning where I don't feel, then it's a good morning. And that was a good morning yesterday. It's a good morning today. So that's 2 days in a trot. It seems every time I've got to work, apart from tonight, I feel ill.
Yes.
So I've got to teach tomorrow and the next day. So it's going to be more interesting. We've had medium to rare weeks, haven't we, really? Mm-hmm. And so we introduce you straight away to our guest. She's got a microphone.
Right, okay.
Here she is.
Lisa
Jane, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the front. Round of applause. Come on, Lisa Jane.
Thank you so much. Hello.
It's lovely to see you, Lisa Jane. Loving the hair, by the way. I meant to say that.
Thanks.
Can I have my hair? Can I have something? I want to look like that. I want to look like you. Can you see what I'm saying?
I could see it.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I could see it.
I think and the eyeliner. I'm loving that.
I could definitely do a winged eyeliner on you.
Can you do that?
You've got good lids for doing a winged liner on, yeah.
I've got a good lid.
You've got a good lid.
So is that what it requires?
Yeah.
I don't know anything. Well, I do know. It would be disingenuous to say I don't know about makeup because I spent years doing makeup on stage, right?
Yeah.
But I hated doing it, and I didn't understand the technical stuff.
Yeah.
I just used to slop it on, and then the makeup artists were coming. Oh, Jonathan,
come
for goodness
sakes,
what are you doing here? There's one at Covent Garden. His name was. In fact, he didn't spell that. Covent Garden. It was Ron. And Ron was like, and he was a legend in the business. I mean, absolutely legend. And he would come in and go, "What the have you done on that face?" He said, "I can't believe it." And he was from the old school, where a lot of the people that were hired were from the docks. Covent Garden, a lot of the guys who were on the ropes were sailors. That's why they got them in. So that's why on the stage you would have a lot of whistle commands, because they would be all as sailors did it. And so they would take them off the docks and they'd be hauling scenery in and out on ropes, not on hydraulics. So that's where it's. And Ron came from that kind of East End thing where he was in the theatre, right? And then this bloke, who was a real posh bloke, he said, he's a real posh bloke. He started teaching me how to do makeup. He said, and here I am, a legend. That's what he used to say. And you just didn't expect it at Covent Garden. You expected somebody to say exactly what I was doing there, you see. Now, I did have a lady at Glyndebourne who was like that, and she said, "Oh, Jonathan," she said, "did nobody teach you how to do this?" And I said, "Yes, but I didn't really listen, I think."
Story of your life, my darling.
I didn't really, I wasn't bothered. I'm that ADHD thing where you just go, I've got bits of ADHD in me. I know that bit where I don't care.
Yeah.
If I don't care about it, I'm not doing it, and that's it. So that's the kind of, and I remember that's not singing, that's not performing. Somebody else come and do it. So they do it, and I'd have a dresser. The dressers, they were fantastic. I used to love them. They were absolutely brilliant. One dresser got me.
Watching my husband try to put tights on is very interesting. Didn't matter how many years he worked in theatre, he still tried to put them on as if they were trousers. So, tights dangling down, and he would try and put his foot in and then sort of keep going to the end.
So, I mean, you manage bands and you do everything.
Yeah.
Right? You're heavily involved in music.
Yeah.
Right? And unbelievably, everybody, I don't even know what to say about this. She's a Eurovision specialist. Oh, I'm sorry. I said it.
It's a swear word, isn't it? Eurovision.
It's practically, I haven't mentioned the word Eurovision in 54 years. Not since Terry Wogan took it over. And I went, well, hello everybody, and it's all that stuff. I loved him. I loved Terry, and I loved it. But are there malfunctions on dress malfunctions, or they weren't ready to go on? They're not ready to go on the stage yet, and all that kind of stuff.
Every year there's numerous kind of things that go. It's a massive. I know what it comes across on the telly here as, it's a fun Saturday evening show, whatever. But
that's a matter of opinion. Anyway,
it is a huge mega beast of a production across numerous public service broadcasters across the world, not just Europe. Yeah. So, of course, there's artists coming on. There's not just the competing artists. There's the whole show, the whole circus that goes on around it. Yeah. So there's always something that goes wrong. Sometimes every single rehearsal. Sometimes it's like the very last show when the thing that they've been working on for weeks and weeks and weeks suddenly goes right. And you're like, oh, finally, it worked at the last minute. Yeah, no, it's a huge thing.
But we equally, as human beings, we like the stories. I mean, the stories are great when things go wrong.
Oh, we love it when it goes wrong.
Yeah, we prefer it.
Love it. Mika, who was the host in Turin.
Mika. I remember. I do remember that.
So he was one of the hosts in Turin in 2022, and he was just so fun. And things we were in Italy, so it was Rai who were the production broadcaster on it, and Italians are not known for their precision and.
Although they have the word preciso, they actually.
It doesn't really mean anything. No. No, exactly. This is the common phrase in Italy. Non lo so.
I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah, a lot of things kept sort of going wrong in Turin all the way through, and Mika was just hilarious in all the rehearsals when it would go wrong, and he was just swearing a lot. It was very, very, very funny. Very, very funny.
I think it does go. I think there's something about it that particularly when it's live, because you see, I think we've got out in BBC television, they completely have sanitized television to the point where they won't let you do it. I did television for years and years, and all the time it was always pre-recorded, apart from when it wasn't. And when it went live, and I remember there were very many things that went wrong. I remember we were up doing a programme with Pam Rhodes live on a Sunday morning. It was a series of 6 at Liam Abbey. Liam Abbey, was it Liam Abbey? So was that I can't remember. She's
Lime
Abbey,
Park,
whatever.
Lime
we were up there, and she'd done the introduction. She said, "And here's a song." And I was sitting here, sofas, and there's the piano over there, and I was sitting there, looking like Richard Clayderman, and thinking. Anyway, and she said, and now Jonathan to sing "You Are the One Who Makes Me Happy," and it's a really kind of. You are the one who makes me happy when everything else turns to grey. And at that point, a massive light from the studio just collapsed, fell straight down, like that, and smashed like this. And I went, "Yours is the voice." At the end of it, she said, "And that was Jonathan Veira," and I shouted out, and I kept going. Because that's what happens.
Live, you have to keep going. I really enjoy. So I do 2 things. I do pre-recorded stuff, and I had done a couple of years ago. I did a report for Newsnight because it was the first year of the whole Israel crisis. So they asked if I would do Newsnight that year, so I did. So I'd done like the pre-record and the report for it, and then they come to you live to kind of fill in on what's immediately happening right there in the media centre. And they're 2 very different things, and you have to sort of live TV. You can't stop, go back, re-record it, do something from a better angle.
Give me another angle, yeah.
Give me that again. I think I prefer it from over there, or is my eyeliner straight? You just gotta crack on with whatever they're asking you in the studio. You've got your in-ear in, so you've got half you're hearing what they're saying. Then you've also got the gallery in the other ear where you're hearing what the producer is saying, and you're like, trying to concentrate on.
Yeah, what would you like me to say? What would you like to do? They're guiding you along, and the wire that comes down here, which is away from the camera, doesn't see anybody, and they go, "Okay, go."
Yeah.
You know, and
Exactly.
So, and I remember when I was doing we were doing the same series, and I was outside, so I had a radio control.
Yeah.
And it was doing something about football, and so the producer was saying, who was a bit wet and warm, to be fair, lovely guy, but just a bit wet and warm.
Sure.
And I like edgy stuff. I never do as I'm told. I mean, I just don't. If he says do that, I do this, and because I know it's going to upset him a little bit.
Yes.
But at the end of it, he's going to get better television. You just know it.
Yeah, exactly.
And because the one thing that doesn't exist often in the minds of BBC producers, particularly, is imagination.
No.
Particularly on current news and current affairs, they just don't do it. They don't do creative. They do exactitude, right? And so everything has to be in its box, and it's all very analog, very digital. Whereas I'm much more analog, and so I had to run up and kick a football, right? And I went, and I thought, oh, I don't know. And he said, go, because it's in the earpiece, and we're shooting, and they've got 2 cameras coming into different angles. I went out, and I went something like, should I hit it or shouldn't I? I don't know. I looked at the camera, and I said, let's give it a shot. And I went and hit it, and I did something, and went, yes! Something like that. And it's a goal! Something like that, really outrageous. And I could tell the guy was going, what are you doing? What are you doing? At the end of it, he said, what is it about you? I said, I just got to do what I've got to do.
Yeah.
Because actually it's more fun that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know Terry Wogan, when he was doing the shows, when he was doing the commentary, he loved it when things were, he lived for the wrong thing where you could just make it up. To improvise.
And that's a job of a commentator. I've been a commentator as well at Eurovision.
And how was that?
It was interesting. So I was commentating for a radio broadcast, not a TV broadcast. So you're then having to describe a lot more of the visuals. It's a different type of commentary when you're doing.
Yeah.
So Ken Bruce used to do the commentary
Yeah.
on radio too.
Good old
Lovely
Ken.
man.
Loved
A
him.
lot of time for Ken Bruce. Absolute sweetheart. So he used to do the radio commentary. And it would be quite different to the TV commentary. So I did the radio commentary for the first ever American broadcast. I was the first commentator for American radio for Eurovision in 2018.
You are a woman? I mean, I think this is what we're going to... The reason I started this conversation was because you're a woman of many parts. And we're going to find... No, that's what I like to see. I like to find out all these different things that you have done, because you've got a finger in every pie.
Yeah,
and it's
true.
I love that, which means that there are an awful lot of pies to eat.
It's a lot of pies.
And
Bring on the pies.
But in there, and I do admire that, because I feel we are kindred spirits in many ways, because we do different things. We don't just do one thing.
Also, we're both a bit bonkers. I think that probably helps too.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps to be slightly mad.
Definitely.
And
It's very insightful of you, Lisa. What can I say?
Anyway, it's a pretty good crowd. This was in the middle of the song. by the way.
We were singing something, weren't we? That's right.
For Sunday. And the manager, she gives me a smile, 'cause she knows that it's me. I'm going to say that one more time. She knows that it's me. They've been coming to see for 6 years, for 201 shows, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 la. Sing along now, here we go. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Piano dies away again. We welcome you to 201. Oh, what are we doing? I don't know if Sue's put this in there, but never mind. you put this in? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I have to make it up, folks. I think we have to imagine that I remember it. Well, I looked over Jordan. What do I see? Coming for to carry me home. I see a band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. There's Bryn once again. Good old Bryn, he gets everywhere. Down, down, bow, down, 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 bam, bam, down. Beautiful solo, mate. Always love having you. Oh, if I get there before you do, coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends that I'm coming too, coming for to carry me home. Sweet chariot, I'm coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Coming for to carry me home. Notice that? So you put the F, there's the F, and you put you finish in there. Very clever little bit of jazz there. That was a great song. I haven't sung that for years, Sue. What happened there?
It sounded great.
I don't. But I mean, why haven't you made me sing it before?
I wouldn't know.
Did we put this down on the list?
It was on the list.
All right.
But when I looked for it in the folder, there was not a single sign of it. So
No, that means we haven't sung it since about 1942. What album was that from?
I
I can't remember now. Was it?
Travelling Songs. Thank you,
And
Rachel.
have sung it in Steinway.
I
I've done it a few times.
Oh, right.
It's
How
just-
long ago was that? Years.
Yeah, I think it's a while.
Put it on.
All right. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that I've done. Anyway, one song I'm going to do because I don't know whether I'll be able to do this again. And I'll sing it for a few people out there tonight. It's a big song. And I was going to do love. I'll tell you what. Oh look, I'll tell you what. I'm going to practice this one for
do
you.
this
All
one
right.
first.
And because this is a nice little easy one. Okay. And I heard it the other day, and I don't know why I heard it. In fact, I said to Sue, "What's that song by? Was it Nat King Cole?" And L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. is even more than anyone that you adore can love, is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Dum ba dum bum ba dum dum dum. Oh, love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can take it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Oh, love was made for me and you. Damn bum 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 boom. And I dribbled that out on the piano the other day, and I thought, I love that. It's so simple. It's like songwriting, brilliantly done, with just a simple piece of.
Yeah, it's great. Love this song.
It's literally all he writes.
Yeah, Rachel and P said, "You know we love this one, Jamie."
You're joking.
No.
All right,
That's
for
great.
Rachel P, what was that?
Rachel.
I said, love, L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. A V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that I can. And all the best of it, but that's it. I love the song. I just think it's and when he sung it, it was that magical voice of Nat King Cole that just, I don't know what he did with the microphone, but when he went on it, and you know, Nat was not meant to be ever singing. He was a guitarist, and he was never meant to be singing at all. And one night in the club, they asked him, he was on the guitar, and the pianist didn't turn up, and the singer didn't turn up. And they said, "Oh, Nat, could you get on the piano?" And he was a brilliant pianist as well, of course. And he said, because fantastic jazz guitarist, but he pretty much put that down and went to the piano and started playing, you know, let there be love, let you be you, let there be me, let there be oysters under the sea. And the voice just took off, a little baritone voice. And they asked him to do it the next week, and then he became, suddenly the club was filled, and he became this phenomenon, and it was just an accidental. I love that. I love those kind of occasions. But he was great at songwriting, and songwriting is one of those things. Do you get involved a lot in songwriting with your artists?
I haven't got involved in much songwriting with my artists. We're working on one at the moment. One of the bands that I work with, they're Italian, but they're based in the UK, and they've got songs out in both Italian and in English, and we've got one song that was originally written in Italian, but we want to do an English version of it because we've got a little project that we're thinking about. So I have been sort of working with the lead singer on sort of just writing and pronunciation, getting that one perfect, because we want that.
Because you can't sing it with an Italian accent.
It's really, it's funny. I mean, and obviously I hear with Eurovision, you hear a lot of music, a lot of English words sung by people who are not native English speakers, and to a point there is something quite nice about that, because they're not trying to hide, they're not trying to be, what they're not doing is this sort of generic clipped American English version. So I'd rather have like a non-native English speaker singing English in a non-native way, not trying to sort of just copy an American. But then there are some projects where you just need it to be slightly more perfect than others.
I get that, and I think actually that, you know, as opera singers we were trained in the to make it idiomatic, so we had to sound Italian. So if I sing Italian, I will be. Everybody says to me, "Oh, oh, you parlate
Are you
Italiano?
Italian? Yes.
So I said, sì, va bene. And I do speak Italian,
Yes.
as it happens now over the years. But when I started, it was teaching me to sound like it was. So it was, O sole mio. I mean, O sole mio. That's how Italians always sing. And this is. They always do this.
Because they speak like that as well.
Yes,
The
exactly.
thing they talk about Italian, in order to speak Italian well, you have to speak like a caricature
Yes, you do.
that you have in your mind of an Italian. Once you start doing that and you get over the slight Britishness of it,
Staying still. They speak with their hands, their bodies.
no
everything.
Italian speaks standing still.
No.
No Italian lives standing still. This just doesn't happen.
È molto pazzo, continua, sì?
Sì,
They're,
sì, sì.
they're always
Molto
crazy,
pazzo.
continually. We were in Roma with we were in a village outside Rome in Grosseto.
Grosseto,
know-
a Toscana, sì.
You see, so
Sì, sì, sì.
fantastic, but a lovely, what I call it. It's a town, but it's villaggio. I was stayed in the village to stay out. Anyway,
Yeah.
we were there with the boys when they were little. How old was? Can you go on screen? Tell us.
I can
because
go on screen. So
Dan was 2.5. Matt was no.
Dan
was 6 months.
Dan was 6 months,
Yeah.
and so Matt was 3.5, something like that. Just under 4.
And we came to this village, and it was an opera festival, and Matt was enough to say he know that Daddy was doing the opera.
Yeah.
And he came to see the opera. The opera starts at 10 o'clock. The posted time is 7, but it never starts till 10. 'Cause
Italiano.
It's Italiano. It's true. They don't start the opera till 10. And we were, English people were knackered. We were just knackered. We just couldn't move.
Yeah.
Because, they're starting each representation, spettacolo, each concert was be at that time. So I said, okay, all right. You get your head into a different space. And Matthew was there, and what was I telling the story? Oh yeah, we went to the village,
the town.
to the town to tell. So first of all, the restaurant.
Well, we went to a restaurant, and Matthew is very blonde, blonde-haired.
Stupidly blonde.
Yes, stupidly blonde.
Like taking the
actually.
mick
So,
blonde.
so white. He had white hair, white skin, bright
Blue.
blue eyes, and the Italians, of course, loved this,
Of course.
and so they would continually come up and try and stroke his hair and so on. And then we went into a restaurant, and the owner came up and said, "Oh," got very excited about the fact that Dan was 6 months old, and she scooped him up out of my arms and took him into the kitchen. The door swung open into the kitchen. There were flames going up, and I was going, "My baby!" But she had to show this baby to everyone in the kitchen, and then eventually he came back. Well, she brought him back. He didn't come back on his own, but it was that sort of over the topness
No.
of everything.
She gave hand in to you.
Oh, and then she came. She sort of dragged me by the hand and she said, "Baby feed, baby feed."
Just took him to a
And
little cupboard.
Yeah, she took me into a broom cupboard and sat me down so that I could feed the baby.
But then, this is what was great. And we were sitting there, and suddenly we heard this massive shouting in the piazza, screaming. I mean, if in England that's na 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 na,
Yeah.
right, and feeling the collar, and you'd be out. I said to the guy, "What's happening?" I said, "Oh," he said, "They are no amico." He said, "Caro amico, non problema." He said, "They're just having an argument."
Yeah.
And they had an argument. At the end, they went, "Oh, caro," and they give you a big hug, and they carry on because that's how they are. Now, I love that, but to live with it and to get jobs done, that was what. And I remember a guy who lived there said that was the problem with it.
Yeah, definitely.
The frustration of the Italian way.
You have to live in an Italian brain when you're. I mean,
Yeah.
I have 5 sets of sort of Italian artists that I work with, 4 bands and 1 solo artist, and I don't think in an English way when I'm kind of working with them. We speak predominantly English language because my Italian is really bad.
How bad is it?
Molto.
Molto male.
Sì, molto male.
Okay.
I'm learning.
Prossima.
Sto imparando, ma
Sì,
non è
sì,
molto
sì.
bene.
And if you try with the Italians, they're not like the French.
No, they're nothing like the
They
French.
reward you for trying.
If you know more than pizza,
Yes.
pasta, and cafe,
And hello.
and ciao,
Yeah.
if you can do more than those 4 words, Your family.
You're practically
Family.
in the house, and I know that's why I loved the place. I did miss being there and working in Italian, and working with Italian people. They are inspirational. They are inspirational people, but they're an exhausting people to work with. So and the two can be true at the same time. I think that's the thing I love. So when you get a conductor, he would be absolutely brilliant, and he would give this and he would give that during the rehearsal. Then he'd give something else during the performance because he didn't standardise anything. It would just be a kind of one. What was that? Was that 1, 2, 3, 4? Was that 1, 2, 3? That's how it would be. But then he loved you, and he'd come up after and kiss you. That would be because he's fantastico, oh my caro amico, everything, your best friend.
Yeah.
So it's low outer walls and lower inner walls as well, emotionally.
I think if you're looking for a country that has like a national ADHD, Italy is the place.
I think that's very good. I like that. The national ADHD.
National ADHD.
Italy.
Well,
Come
it
to
has
Italy.
to be said that you felt very, very comfortable over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would
absolutely.
say to you,
In fact, they all thought you were from Sicily, didn't they?
they did. They all thought I was
I could
Sicilian.
see that. I could absolutely see why they would think you were
Definitely,
Sicilian
that kind of North African
or Calabria.
Yeah. But they think, of course, when they said Sicilia, I said,
Sicilia.
I said, Cosa Nostra. I said, no. Giocare. I'm only joking.
Jonathan, can I just point out that a lot of people are not understanding what you two are
sorry.
talking about
Right,
when you're
we're
speaking
talking about
Italian.
That's English.
Right, all right. Right, we hardly
Sorry.
spoke Italian.
Mi dispiace.
Yes, sorry about that. We're just living out. So
Right.
let's have a song. This one is a big song. I'm going to do this for Pete. I'm going to do it for Erica and David because Eric and David are going through a bit of a slump at the moment. He's got an operation that's needed, and it's quite urgent, isn't it? Really. I think also I'll say this for my son right now. He's in a hospital in Bath. He's ripped his bicep out from his and so he won't know that this is going on. But no more tears is the
Yes.
no more pain, no more tears. He said I
Yeah.
couldn't. Well, they asked me to straighten the arm, and I can't straighten it anymore. So he's going to have some major piece of
Do you
job done.
want to hear the latest?
Go on.
He said, just had an X-ray, but looking like I'm going to need surgery to reattach the muscle, maybe the tendon, if it's a full rupture. He's got to go back in tomorrow at 9 a.m. for X-ray results and to see the specialist. Not ideal, but I can't change anything now.
Oh.
Bless him. So prayers for Dan would be
So
useful.
what it might be, they do if it's an emergency, they'll
Yeah,
do
they
it there
might do
and
it
then.
straight away.
Yeah, rather than.
Whatever. Anyway, that's enough.
Okay.
Moving on.
So this one, big song. Heard it in America. I heard it actually. A guy called David Phelps singing. He was a massive singer in America, gospel singer, and he sang this one. And it needs a little bit of kind of. You need a bit of theological background to understand a lot of things about Revelation and stuff. But just listen to the words: "No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again." And praises to the great I Am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb, the hope that is to come.
No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I Am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. The time is thief earth and heaven shall pass away. It's not a dream. God will make all things new that stay. Gone is the curse from which I stumbled and fell. Evil is buried to eternal hell. No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. All around, now the nations bow down to sing. The only sounds are the praises to Christ the King. Slowly the names from the book are read. I know the King, so there's no need to dread. No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. See over there is a mansion prepared just for me, where I can live with my Savior eternally. No more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb.
Well, that's been very appreciated from everyone.
Whoa! Whoa!
A big song.
Big song. My goodness. When I recorded that, I did that in one take. And it was one of those where I was playing the piano at the same time. It was, and I remember they were in the studio. We were in Nashville, and the guys they were used to using Tommy tuner on everything, and the tuning machines go on everything. They just slap it on, so that if you're flat, it just sharpens it, or flattens if it's sharp. And I said, when I walked in, I said, "You're not using that. Absolutely not. We do it properly, and then we do it in post, which is afterwards. So you can do it afterwards. You can say if that's slightly sharp, you can flatten it and so on." And so I said, okay, we're going to do this one. And I played it for the pianist that should have been playing it for me. And he went, I can't do that. So I said, well, I've come over here expecting you, natural musicians, to be the top of the tree. Anyway, I said, well, look, I'll try it. So I did it. I started, and Sue was on there, and they were out there with their phones. All the musicians were out there with their phones. Actually, do you remember that?
I do. They'd just never seen anything like it. It was a sort of real shock for them, really, that he was a
People
singer
record it
who
live.
could play the piano.
Well, that you'd record it live.
Yeah.
And that was what the training was. That's what we did. Now, there were a few, to be fair, in post, we had to, bring in a few notes. But essentially, that's what it was. But it's a massive song, and it goes on. Just when you think it's finished, it doesn't have a verse. And I remember thinking, why have I picked this flipping song? That's honestly what I thought. Why have I picked this song? You're an A&R person. A&R means artists and repertoire. So there's usually the guy that was on last week, Peter Martin, you saw on the show. Now, he was my A&R person. And he kind of handed over the job to various other people over the years, over the 23 years of the relationship. And he would pick a song, go, this is the one, like, God on high, hear my prayer in my need, and stars there. Out in the darkness from Miss Les Mis, fugitive running, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face, till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine is the way of the Lord. And those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the soul, in the multitude, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky. You know your course and your aim. And each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, they fall in flame. And so it has been, and so it is written on the doorway to paradise. And those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him, safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear, this I swear by the stars.
Very good. Lots and lots of hearts for that
like
one.
that one. You see, now that was an A&R selection. I wasn't going to do that because I was saying I don't do MT because I'm a bit of a snob, you see.
Yeah.
But are you involved in just choosing songs with people?
Not so much. I mean, the artists that I work with it's very much a collaborative effort, and I work in quite a different way to I think a lot of people in the music industry. Firstly, my belief is that the people making money from the music should be the musicians.
Hallelujah!
Which
Say that
is-
again. Could you say that once more? Just
So
so we know
any musical person,
Say again. Say one time.
the people making money from the music
Yeah.
should be the
Yeah.
musicians.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
What a novel idea.
Right, I know,
The people
isn't
that
it?
produce that stuff
Yes.
should be making the money.
Yes.
Who ever thought that was an idea?
Well, not the music industry of the UK,
Or
Europe,
anywhere.
and most of the world, really, today. No, exactly. So we try to model it very differently. So when I'm working in whether I'm doing a bit of tour management or whether I'm doing artist management or management support or whatever it is I'm doing, my philosophy for my company is I only make money when the musicians are making money. I'm not.
So when they've cleared their
when
whatever
they've cleared theirs, then
do
they
you not take
can.
do you not take a percentage of whatever they're doing,
No.
or you don't do that? Well
No.
done. Goodness, that's why you've got another job, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not a millionaire, are you, girl?
No. No, and I would hate to be a millionaire off the backs of other people's work. I would hate it.
And there's the thing. It's very interesting, isn't it, how people could be comfortable. We watched the whole thing about contemporary Christian music, CCM, contemporary
Yeah.
Christian music
Yeah.
in America, which is bigger than all the market in Europe. All put together, CCM was bigger than that. Michael W. Smith, massive. Amy Grant, blah, blah, blah. All these people that... And we watched it. Sue, how disturbed were you when you watched that? Put yourself on camera.
Right, I'm on camera. Yeah, it was very disturbing. It was very disturbing to see the way that what we thought were Christian companies looking after people were just, they weren't.
They were EMI.
They were EMI and so
Warner
on, and
Brothers.
so they
For
didn't
sure.
have those kind of
Ethics,
values or
morality,
ethics that they
nothing.
would think about looking after the artists. They would only look after them because they would make the money, and the artists didn't get very much at all.
No, and you think actually if somebody, the
hate
guy
that.
called Mark Williamson,
Yeah.
from the Mark Williamson band, and he was massive over in America. Suddenly bought him out, and I knew him here. We did some his keyboard player was Chris Eaton, and Chris then went on to write songs. I'll sing a song tonight like that. And he just said he did some backing tracks for me right back in the day, 26 years ago now. Yeah, it was for the first album I did. And Mark was a massive star, and he came on, and he was a very clever man, great songwriter as well. And they bought his album. They brought him out, took him out, six-figure sum, right? Gave him an advance,
Yeah.
right? Against royalties.
Yeah.
So you only once you've
Oh, yeah.
cleared the royalties, right? Cleared everything that they've spent on you, do you get anything? Now the point was then what they did is they decided that actually for strategic reasons they wouldn't release the album,
Yeah.
and they held the album for 5 years. It
Oh,
bankrupted
so
him.
common. So
He's-
common.
and he got seriously ill. I mean, what kind of what do you think of that?
It's such a common story. I mean, that in the Christian world, it makes it even more sickening. But it's sickening everywhere. It just should not be happening. Do you want to know something really interesting? Or people think I'm absolutely bonkers, but all the artists I work with, we have 0 signed contracts between us.
Just a word.
Just a word, a friendship, and
I've
a
got a
truth
solicitor here
and
sitting
belief.
right in front of me. I wonder what she thinks about that.
A truth and belief that we are building this together.
That's an interesting thing. Now, see, I am looking. We do have a retired solicitor. Is there any way in which you can get her on camera? No. Just right. No. Just go on. Just twist it around a bit. Twist around that one. Camera.
David can.
David can
David can
tip
do the
that round.
magic.
He can.
Here
There
she
she is.
is. Hello.
This is Liz, who's married to David, who's our beloved David Hicks. Liz, you look at that. You listen to that. What do you make of that?
It does concern me
Yes.
that you don't have anything written down, because it would be far more protective of all of you if a deal goes sour.
Yeah.
Obviously, what Sue and Jonathan are saying, what you've been saying about the music industry, and we've heard, it's been in the news, that musicians actually make very little, and all the middlemen cream it off along the way, and there's a terrible lot of them, all making money off the back of the performers, or the songwriters. it does concern me, but if you're going to work in an Italian way,
Yeah.
don't talk to a retired English lawyer.
No,
That might be true.
No,
That might be true.
that is a soundbite I like to live with. Thank you very much. That's all I need to hear. That was the soundbite, Liz.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I think maybe that's it, isn't it? That if you come up with a different way, I mean, we're going to talk a lot in a minute. We're going to come down and have a chat about things that are related to that in a way.
Sure.
The way that you've lived your life as well, which has been a very surprising way. How you were involved in the work at Ground Zero in 9/11, in some months after.
Yeah.
But it all kind of wraps up, it seems, with your life in that you're seeking a higher level from people.
Yeah.
You expect more.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that people are anything other than good and honest. But I'm not naive about it. I know that any one of my bands could shaft me at any point.
Yeah.
But I also have a belief and a trust that they won't, because I could do the same to them and I won't.
Yeah.
And we sort of
So there's
know
that you try and model for them in the way you're representing them. I think it's quite interesting. But bearing in mind, I've had management for 30.
Right, exactly.
I had 35 years of management, and we ended up with a really. I'm going to say it publicly. I couldn't wait till the day we finished.
Yeah.
Actually, and then she wrote to me after 35 years of making money out of me, a lot of money out of me, and leaving me with, sometimes only 40% of what I earned in a fee. And she would take cream off 15% off the top. And you say, what the flip? What is that about? And so we know about that. And I think a paradigm that you're saying can be different if you model it.
Yeah.
And if people start following it.
Yeah.
And if you gather around you people for whom integrity, honesty, that song, but Billy Joel, honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue.
Yeah.
But mostly what I want from you, mostly what we want is honesty.
Yeah.
We can't, we all tell fibs, you know what I mean? But still, within where you are, I love the idea that you can do something different.
Maybe it's a pipe dream. Maybe it's living in a world
Good, but that's all
that
right.
is, maybe I live in a fantasy world of fairy tales. But I think I would rather do that and still hold a belief that people don't want to shaft you.
I think it's we've been watching something, a television program called Ted Lasso, which
Love Ted Lasso.
Right, so Ted Lasso, but the themes of it are very, very mixed. Some of them are good and some of them bad. But the thing I love most of all is that running through Ted is this surprising integrity. Nobody expects it from him, and he gives it every time. And every time somebody says, no, you can't, he says, yes, I can forgive you. And so forgiveness was the one we were watching just the other day. And the whole theme of I forgive them, and he forgives his dad, and he forgives that, and he forgives them. And so suddenly there's this pile of forgiveness. And the mass Christian story, that is the story of forgiveness and redemption. Yeah. That is the story of the Christian story, in the gospel. That's what it is. So we came out yesterday. I was weeping my heart out. You come out and you weep your heart because you see forgiveness in action, and you see it saying, "I forgive you, Dad. I forgive you, and Mum. All the stuff that you did. My friends, David, you let me down, but I forgive you, and you forgive me. It's a beautiful thing, and so there's a new morality that can be injected.
I'd love to see more of it in the world. I think humanity, and whether you want to Christianize it or not, I think just as people, we would do so much better if we had more grace with each other, gave each other a bit more space and a bit more leeway to be allowed to experiment and get things wrong. And that we were just more open to saying, yeah, okay, you've messed that up. But
okay, so what about that then? You see, giving space to get things wrong, that's quite an interesting phrase,
So important.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the most important things that a parent can give to a child, that a teacher can give to a student, that a line manager can give to an intern, that your boss can give to you at work. I think just giving people space to get it wrong, I think, is one of the best things you can do.
Otherwise, what we're aiming for is this, if they do get it wrong, then we blame them.
Yeah, exactly.
and then everything collapses in. So what do you think of this? I'm interested in get the idea of culture on the screen, of getting things wrong in allowing people to make mistakes.
Yeah, I think when we don't allow that, then we are heading into worse trouble.
Exactly.
A lot of the problems in hospitals happen because there's this secrecy around there being a problem, and so they don't learn from them at all because they are terrified of someone finding out and there being a legal action. And actually what's then happening is that you're not I've always said to my children as they were growing up, the fact that you made a mistake is one thing, but learn from it. I don't mind what you've done, just learn from it so it doesn't happen again. So the whole point is that we should be learning from our mistakes, and I don't think that happens enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do think it's a thing.
There's a great podcast, I don't know if you know it, called How to Fail with Elizabeth Day.
No.
And it's brilliant. She has all kinds of celebrities of all different ilks on, but not also celebrities, other people well known in their own field, who just talk about their failures and how they've effed things up along the way, and what they've learnt from it, and why it's so important to do that.
Yeah, and it's got to be a theme that we, a lot of people listen to this program are Christian people, not everybody, but a lot of them are, and actually this notion where we allow people to get things wrong instead of jumping on them. I know. I do. I know. I'm quicker to go, well, what about this? Anyway, we're gonna have a little break. I'm gonna read a thing. I think by Jerry, who's written our resident poet, who's written a tribute to John Brown.
I love Jerry. I've seen him on the chat thing.
Have you? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, Jezza is just.
I don't know Jerry. Jerry, I don't know you, but you're lovely. I love your poems. You're wonderful.
Well, he's
Jerry,
written
you've got a fan.
He's written. He's got loads of fans.
He has.
He's got loads of fans. A lot of people love Jerry. We all love him. He's going to come here actually on October the 4th, actually, to come and write live stuff where we've got a singer-songwriter in.
That's my birthday as well. I'll be watching that.
Right,
one,
yeah, watch that, because we've got
sure.
a guy called Benny you might be interested in.
Okay.
You might be interested in. Singer-songwriter, 23. I'll let you watch a few things afterwards.
Ooh.
Seriously
An
good
exclusive.
stuff. Well, I rate him. He was in my university class.
Wow.
What shouldn't have been, but just turned up in my classical music club and said, somebody said I should be here. And he brought his guitar, started playing what I thought were country songs. And I said, well, they're very good. He said, yeah, they've been written by current Christian country writers. Turned out he was the writer of all these songs. He came and did a show here, got the best response in the 200 plus shows, including the greats like Bryn Howarth and Paul Field. And all
I
those.
missed
so
that
it's a
one.
great show. So, listen, this is he's written this for John Bown, who died just a few weeks ago, and this is his tribute. 'Twas in November 1943 that a baby, John Bown, was born to serve thee, his God and his fellow man, and now he has returned whence he began. As a policeman, John was the paradigm. He gave himself entirely in that time, later to become a dedicated street pastor, always ready to serve his Lord and Master. He greatly loved his dear wife Margaret. Though parted, they love one another yet. That was with regret. Firmly believing that death is not the end, they will share the crown of Jesus Christ, their friend. John might, as a gentle giant, be described, his name in the book of life inscribed. He set his sights on Christ, and with decision chose a favourite hymn, Be Thou My Vision, which was one of his songs that he chose at the funeral. John truly loved his grandchildren, confide. How John looked on all that they achieved with pride, as if they were his own achievements too. Part of each other's lives, together they grew. He served God and in the police with great devotion, and viewed death as the ultimate promotion. He showed young, new recruits, of course, they could also be Christians in the force. It's true, he did. John's autobiography, with such an apt title, tells of his Christian journey with Jesus' presence vital. In life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows, he'd detect, being called to serve and protect. That was the name of the book. John's selflessness one could not help but see. Many would recall his great generosity. Faith, family, and friendship, parts of the whole. All these helped make it well with his soul. You love that song too. John lived to love, to give, to serve, to share. No one was exempt to him, all, everywhere. Each one of us may weep at our loss under the shadow of the Holy Cross. Give thanks, then, for the life of John Bown. He walked the path of life, up, along, down. May his example always remain. Until that day, we shall all meet again. Thank you, Jerry.
Lovely.
And we're just going to have, I think, one song, and it's going to be Faithful. I'm going to sing that one. Song by Chris Eaton. Again, way back in that album, Faithful. And it's a beautiful song. Here it is. I think this one, Susan from Thornley likes, doesn't she?
She does.
I find no hope within to call my own, for I am frail of heart, my strength is gone. But deep within my soul is rising up a song, here in the comfort of the faithful one. I walk a narrow road through valleys deep, in search of higher ground on mountains steep. And though with feet unsure, I still keep pressing on, for I am guided by the faithful one. Faithful, faithful to the end, my true and precious friend, my true and precious friend. You have been faithful, you have been faithful, faithful, so faithful to me. I see your wounded hands, I touch your side, with thorns upon your brow, you bled and died. But there's an empty tomb, a love for all who come and give their hearts to you, the faithful one. Here we go, faithful, faithful to the end. Faithful, faithful to my true and precious friend, my true and precious friend. You have been faithful, you have been faithful, so faithful to me, so faithful to me. From the starry sky that shines on me an everlasting hope of liberty. And when the day is done and when the race is run, I will bow down before God's only Son, and I will lift my hands
in praise for all you've done. And I will worship you, my faithful one. Here we go, faithful to the end. Faithful, faithful to the end. My true and precious friend. You have been faithful. You have been faithful. Faithful, so faithful to me.
Again,
Debussy.
really appreciated by everyone. And lovely Veira Clay from Nailsea
Lovely
wrote
Veira.
in and said, "Oh, I was going to ask JV if he could sing that tonight."
Ah.
So she said, "I left
It's
it
an
a bit
interesting
too
song,
late."
isn't it? You know that song, don't you? Do you all know it? Ish. Yeah, it's somewhere in here, isn't there?
I've got vague recollection that I sung it at Emmanuel once, one like Good Friday or something. Maybe when it came out. I don't know how old it is. It's
Well,
a few
it's
years.
about as old as me.
No, it's not.
Very,
It's not
very,
quite. It's
very
not quite
old.
that old.
Very, very old.
No,
I had dark hair. Okay. The Queen was still
Yeah,
the Queen.
Of course, the Queen was the Queen.
And I think the Boomtown Rats were number one. And
No,
so
no, I feel like it's 90s, somewhere in the 90s.
it is.
I've got a vague recollection.
No,
of,
it's not.
Of
No.
singing it in
He wrote it.
Emmanuel.
When did this record come out?
What, Pilgrim? That
Yeah.
was about 2008.
Five.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
5. So and that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it has about, and he wrote it. Chris wrote. He said, "I've written this for you." Wrote to me and said, "Are you interested in the song?" And I took it because at the time I thought. Now, interestingly, and this is very interesting, it's not. It wasn't. I sang it at Swing Harvest, all the big festivals.
Yeah.
It didn't hit at all. You know, when people went, "Oh, it's nice." You know,
Yeah.
it was that kind of song, and I think it was the way I did it. I think there was something about there was no big crescendo. And da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee pie, the faithful one. So you can't really go up. Da 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 dee da da dee ba dee da dee da da. But felt wrong.
Yeah.
It felt wrong to sing it that way. It felt more of a congregational song.
Oh,
And so
apparently, Cliff Richard did it at Cilla Black's funeral.
You see, and Cliff took it after me. That was the point. Cliff took the song, and I think, and he made it into a much bigger hit than it was for me.
He put it on an album, I
He did.
think. Yeah, he did put
He
it on
did.
an album. Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. That's where.
And I
it is.
think that's where I heard it first. I definitely remember singing it at Emmanuel with Jane on the piano. I
Linda
remember
Marshall
that.
agrees with you.
Does
She's
she?
just written in saying,
Oh,
"You're right, Lisa."
Hi, Linda. Was she
It's
there
like a
when
little
I sang
Emmanuel
it? It's like a
Cleese, isn't
reunion
it?
going on.
It happened to Emmanuel. It
Yes.
must have done.
Bless
Well,
her.
I'm glad. I'm really glad that we've all sung because it's a great song. I love the final verse, and I think, and from the starry sky, there shines on me an everlasting hope of liberty. Okay, and when the day is done and when the race is run, I will bow down. When everything's done, everything's said and done, all this stuff is over, I will bow down. So, and I remember thinking I was very humbled as I sung it. One of those, because I'd had this great album. It was really it was quite funky, and we finished it with this. That was the final song on the album, and it was just one that I should do it more. I will do it more. I think it does. It's quite a good one to do in concert as well, because I think I don't often do a lot of explicitly Christian songs in concert. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on the audience, of course. But that kind of one is.
I reckon you could sneak that one in quite happily.
Yeah, I think it's doable, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
If it's good enough to Cilla Black's funeral, it's interesting. He sung that at the funeral.
Yeah.
See, there are things you never know, do you? I had to go and do a funeral for somebody who was in the community, in this community, and I didn't know met her. And there were about 500 people in the funeral. It's a packed thing, and I was at the back, and they wanted me to say "King of Kings, Majesty," which was my big song. And I remember the girl saying, she said, The thing is that we wanted to have the two things that she liked most of all were Cliff Richard and Jonathan Veira. And Cliff Richard wasn't available. Now, I got up there and I said, well, I'm so sorry I didn't get to meet Jenny or whatever her name was. And the whole family went, yes, you did. You met her 5 times. You signed albums. I know. I went, no. I could not believe. We're going to really pick up on this. It's lovely. Listen, lovely talking. No, it's nice chatting, actually.
I love it. It's great. I'll talk for England.
You and I are the same. Sue, what's happening in the world of JV?
Oh, right. We're getting to the notices, aren't we? Right, that was
any
quick.
notices, and then we'll have a little moment, one song, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to probably go a little bit over time. So be aware of that, people. Go and get your cup. Don't go and get your cup of tea, but go and get your cup of tea.
Okay, so we have got in September we've got 2 gigs up in Scotland. So the 12th and the 19th. So we're in Carluke on the 12th. 19th we're in Saltcoats. October we are in Leytonstone on the 3rd. Emmanuel Baptist Church in Swanage. 16th, I can't say it normally now. Swanage.
It's a new one.
And then the 31st, we are at Offington Park Methodist in Worthing with the lovely Dawn.
Lovely church.
And then in November at the moment, we've got the 14th, which is Hazel Grove Baptist in Stockport. And on the 14th of December, Hope Church in Dawlish.
We'd love one in November, one more in November would be great. If we can, anybody would like to put this on.
Anyone got an idea, then let us know.
Really love to do it. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so that's good. And I'll move on to the next thing, if I can. Sorry, Rachel. I can't see what I'm doing. So if you want to find out more, you need to contact me at sue@jonathanveira.com or look onto the website. It's probably the best thing at the moment. I'm having a slight problem with sue@jonathanveira.com address. So go onto the website. You'll get all the details there of what's actually going on. Sorry, Rachel, bless her, is trying to sort something out at the moment. So I'm sort of losing the thread of what I'm doing because we're going from different thing to different thing. Okay, so Steinway Room. We're not having one next week, and we're not having the next few weeks. So can I put these dates on? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. I did that. So...
Going awfully well.
I know, I've got all these different buttons that I'm trying to work out here. So the 4th of October is when we're back. We got Benny in the room, as we said, and Jonathan is busy thinking about different people coming in and doing different guest slots and so on. So we're back on the 4th of October, 4th, 11th and 25th, and then the 8th and the 22nd of November. But nothing at the moment in September.
No, well, I think we got one.
Possibly.
Somebody's wedding was cancelled that we are meant to be doing, and so we'll probably do that one
possibly
gig.
Maybe.
The rest of it we're not here for, sadly, until the 20th, 21st, something like that. And I've got to do a BBC Awards ceremony after that. I know. It's what happens with people, celebrities, you see. We do these things. We turn up and go, and this prize is awarded to, all that kind of nonsense. Anyway,
right. So... I'm going to try and move on now. Because I have little enough time to do this without you whittering away in the middle of it all. So our away day down south is Wednesday the 18th of November. We're at St Catherine's Parmore. For those of you who were asking earlier on how to register, you can either scan this QR code, which is on your screen right now. So you can get your phone out and just click on the QR code. And if you don't have a clue what I've just said, then go to jvlive.uk/JV retreat and you will be able to sign up there. But that's St Catherine's Parmore. We're going to have the day on the 18th, but if you want to come to sign up for... the room the night before and the night after, then that would make it the 17th to the 19th. But food is included. Only standard accommodation available now. So right.
It's for what?
Okay.
Which one?
This is no, darling. This is Parmore.
Parmore. Oh,
Parmore.
Right.
We are moving on to Thornley.
Standard accommodation. We're very popular.
It is. That's very good. So let's move on to the northern one, which is at Thornley Christian Hotel, And we are going to be there from Friday the 30th of April to, in fact, Monday the 3rd of May, which is the bank holiday weekend. So it's that first bank holiday weekend. And
Lovely, the sunny-
if you
sun
can't
shine.
make the Monday, then, of course, you can check out on the Sunday. Again, to sign up for that, you need to click on to that QR code on the screen or go to jvlive.uk/jvnorth. To directly contact the Thornley Christian Hotel. So basically, you need to go to the Thornley Christian Hotel to sign up for that. Right, I think I'm finished with all of that. And so I'm going to finish. And we've got Jonathan and Lisa have just gone. Can we move the camera around a bit? I think. Oh, where am I now?
Hello, darling.
Hello. All right. Hang on, I need
Got
some water.
him. Oh, how about this one? There we go.
There we go.
Right,
Are we
took me
okay
a little
now?
while to get there, but I got there.
Do you know what? I was going
good.
to have a video, but you know what? We're on a roll.
Sorry.
We're on a roll. We got to keep talking.
This is a dangerous one to do, you and me together. Should have
It's
warned you.
ADHD or us. ADHD.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what the T is for,
It's-
but it's for something like
Something.
trouble.
Yeah,
Right?
probably.
That's the one. It's very interesting. You are this woman of many parts.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Your book that is
Yes.
coming out and is ready for pre-order, and I cannot.
It is.
We were reading this last night, and I think actually people out there are going to enjoy this. I think they're going to enjoy it because it's an honest look. The stories, you're terribly honest, and there are bits in the thing I went, oh, like that. It makes me sit up, and I go,
Oh, really?
that is a good thing.
Okay, good.
Right. It is a good thing because it makes you sit up. You don't expect it. You don't expect certain things to come. And when they come, you go, right, there's this genuine story to tell. But it also, and I want to start from this point of view, you're a local girl from around
I
Guildford. here.
literally grew up the hill from where we're sitting right now. Rides Hill.
Which one? Rides Hill.
Rides Hill Crescent.
You were right. You were neighbours of us.
Yep.
Who knew?
Well, in fact, Ruth Cloak knows because she's written in saying,
Oh my
"Hi,
gosh,
Lisa."
I remember that name.
Yes.
Wow.
She's watching it and says,
Hi,
"You're
Ruth.
just the same. You've not changed at all. Still bubbly and
Oh,
lovely."
Thank you.
Bubbly and lovely.
Oh.
So, well, that's it. Well, I used to do that in my hair as well. I did, yeah. I imagine now just going, oh, like that. All right. I know I don't want it. It's fine. And so what's interesting to me is that you have this this air about you that says confident, able, can do a lot. And yet I look back on you and I see I'm going to start from the trouble.
Yeah.
Because I saw deeply troubled child. I saw deep sadness and it made me cry last night.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, it did. And the reason is because I hate bullying. And
Yeah.
you were tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I say that I don't remember. Maybe there were some days, but I don't remember any days at school from nursery through to sixth form where there wasn't some form of physical, mental bullying. Is
At
really
school?
the best sort of word for it. At school, yeah. Yeah. I on a sort of positive front, I was very big into brownies and guides and things, and I think partly I was really enthusiastic about that is because I
Yes.
wasn't bullied there.
Yeah.
So because I was able to kind of enjoy what I was doing.
Safe place.
Yeah, it was a safe place. I then got really into what the actual thing was. So I was really, really I was the top brownie, top guide down here at Emmanuel. You know,
Oh, really?
I
Were you a Queen's
loved it.
Guide?
I was a Queen's Guide. Yeah.
I bet you
Yeah, I
were,
was a
weren't
Queen's
you?
Guide, yeah.
You got all the badges.
And then I went on into the leadership, so into like Rangers and young leaders, and like started leading, small
yeah.
groups and stuff of brownies and guides myself. I really, really loved guiding because I wasn't bullied like I was at school.
So what at school? And I can't get this out of my head. Used to hide behind the bush.
I did.
I literally
I did.
can't tell you. It just went. I hate the word, and I do hate this word so much. But the word trigger
Yeah,
it
no, I know what you
just
mean. I don't really
triggered
like it.
me back to school.
Yeah.
Because I hated every moment of school.
Yeah.
I don't think there was one, apart from when I was in the sixth form and I was a musician, and they all went, oh, he's something.
Yeah.
And that was it from the sixth form for those 2 years. That was it. But every other, from the age of 5,
Yeah.
I was bullied mercilessly
Yeah.
for everything. Brown skin, called the P word.
Yeah.
Fat.
Yeah.
I was, the
Yeah.
wrong person at the wrong place. Nobody played games with me. Nobody. Oh, sir, do we have to have him? Was the constant
Last
cry.
picked.
Last picked. Always last picked.
Same.
In everything. And so what you did is you hid.
Yeah, I did.
Isn't that what?
It sounds really
you
silly
did?
now, like writing it down. Yeah, I did.
No, it doesn't.
I went to, so our school was a sort of a U shape, and people around here will know Stoughton Middle School.
Yeah.
And it's not there anymore. I think it's like luxury flats or something
Yes,
now.
it's gone.
Oh, it's a nursing home. So it was like a U shape, and the hall was like along the middle part of the U, and there was no door in the middle. The doors were like to the sides in the corner, and
Yes.
then on the ends of the U shape as well. And growing along the kind of front by the door this side and by the door this side was I don't even know what it was, but it was like a bushy tree type thing.
Quite low.
But where it had grown, it had sort of grown. It was supposed to be growing like up the wall, but it had grown out of the wall, so it had like a stumpy bit behind it, but the leaves had grown out from the wall. I guess they were trying to find the light because it would have been quite a dark corners. Yeah, exactly. As a metaphor. So it was trying to sort of find the light, and by doing that, it created this sort of like cave almost behind it. And I discovered one day when I was running away from somebody, instead of running into the door, I ran behind the bush, and they ran past me. Didn't see me, and I was like, aha, I found it. I found where I can hide. So I used to hide it. I used to write songs around in there, like in my head. I did a lot of songwriting.
Did you feel you wanted to be, and that's part of, so that it was stimulating your creativity. You were desperate to be part of that. Did you want to be part of the Populars?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. But I never was.
No.
So I used to hide. That was my little escape corner behind the hedge at Stoughton. Became Stoughton Grange, Stoughton Middle School when I was there, because I'm ancient.
Children are horrible.
They can be.
They can be.
They can be.
Not always, but led by ringleaders.
Usually.
Did the teachers at your school ever know that you were? Because in the class, I presume you were. So I'm sitting back a bit too far away from the camera. But did they ever notice that you were like?
I don't. If they did, they didn't do anything about it. I remember once at first school, so I was at Stoughton First School as well. I'm such a local girl to here. So I was at Stoughton First School.
Literally around the corner.
Quite literally. And I do remember one time, I can't remember what had led to it anyway, but it was, those like, they used to have those sort of like plastic stilt thingies that had like, it was like 2 yogurt pots with like a string, and
Yes.
you used to like
Yes.
waddle around like that. So I remember like I had them, and this girl came over and like pushed me off them and took them off of me. We were very little at this, I would say 6 or 7 maybe. And I chased her across the playground. This was very unlike me. I chased her across the playground, and I like whipped them back off of her, pushed her over, and thumped her really hard in the back. And I remember now, even today, it scares me how
viscerally,
like
yeah.
the vibration of my hand hitting her back. It's still like how at 40
Shocks you.
plus years later, I'm still like, oh my God, I can still remember that thud of my hand on her back. We're friends now. But like,
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no, she's lovely. Her name's Alison. And we like, and I got in trouble for that because they saw me hit her.
Yes.
And I got in trouble for that.
Yes.
And everything that had gone beforehand
was nothing.
Completely nothing. Was the fact that the dinner lady, as they were called then.
I know, troublesome
Back in the
people they were
80s.
indeed. They were.
Well, my mum wasn't. My mum.
And my mother was a dinner lady as well.
My mum wasn't a dinner lady in that she was out in the playground. My mum was the head cook at Stoughton Middle School.
No, that's not a dinner lady.
So she was the catering
The
manager.
dinner ladies were the ones who slapped on the mashed potato and slapped on the greens.
Yeah, no, my mum was cooking it, and then yeah. So
Okay.
that was weird as well.
Right,
My
so we've
mum
got
worked
that
at the
picture,
school.
but we've got that picture.
Yeah.
And did that did that go all the way through? You went. When did you go to what secondary school did you go to?
So I went to Bishop Rhindorp, as it was there. Now Christ College.
Called Police Central.
Well, it was, yeah. I sort of joke with people. So this is weird doing this kind of conversation in Guildford. But like,
but talk about it.
I do joke with people, you know, if you left in the 90s particularly, if you left there not pregnant or addicted to something, you were doing all right.
Yes.
I achieved both of those things, so yay.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done. That's what you've got a good achievement.
Thank you.
Your
Thank you so
counsellor
much.
would have said, "Well done."
Yeah,
well
exactly.
Done. So you definitely would have said, "Well done."
Yeah.
Well done. Okay. Yeah. No. And it was. I remember going in and doing an inspirational talk in there and feeling. I called 999 just walking in the door. I was terrified, and I don't get terrified about anything.
No.
And I walked in, and these kids went, "All right then, what do you want?"
Yeah.
Started giving me abuse, and the teachers just sat there, and I said, "You going to do anything?" They went, "What, like that?" So I just went in, and I just went mad. I went mad at them until they shut up, and I said, "You will not speak to me like this. I come in here to give you a talk about blah, blah, and where I come." And they went, "Okay then," and they sat. And at the end, they were, "Yeah, you're all right." But I had to. I mean, I was terrified of them, honestly. And I don't get. And this is Guildford. I've been in the worst schools,
Right.
you know.
I know. I lived in America. Like I lived
Yeah,
in...
you think you could show me them? They go, "Yeah, man. Yeah, you're all right. You're cool. Yeah, no problem."
I will say something just to jump forward in the story a little bit. So I spent a little bit of time working for a prison charity here in the UK,
Yes.
and you're doing like induction stuff and whatever. And people, prison dark humor, you know what people are like who work in prisons. And they were like trying to like scare me because we were going to Belmarsh, which is one of the high security units in London. So going into Belmarsh, and they're like trying to scare me with how these
stories.
prisons, and I was like, "Mate, I did my training on Riker Island in New York," and they were like, "Oh, oh, we can't get a no, sorry."
So you've moved. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
And this is what. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because people like you, people like me, that came out of bullying.
Yes.
We often just we. I mean, I believe in the power of God to change situations. I do, and I think actually, what to give us strength. I had one teacher who just said, "Be brave." I write in my book. He was the one, my music teacher, who said, "Be brave," and he gave me the key to his music room. That saved me from being in the playground. The playground was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
The classroom, you're under some kind of protection. The playground, it's a free-for-all. It's a jungle.
Yeah, sure.
And so we find our way. But what that does is it gives us an intellectual life that we can start to build.
Yeah.
And we start to see that we start to create. And we have our own dreams and visions and things that you want to do. Tell me what happened after that.
Just what you were saying there about school and you escaping in the music room. So I had a teacher who I was really interested in radio and broadcasting at the time, and I know, right? And our school like didn't really have much of that going on. And also, it was the 90s in Guildford. It was a strange place, and this one teacher helped us set up a radio station in the school, so it was broadcast during lunchtime. So myself, my friend Darren, and a couple of others started this radio station in school, and that was a bit like you. It was a room to escape to, and it was something that I wanted. Yours is music. I mean, I obviously love music as well, but I had this real passion for like I wanted to work in television. I really wanted to be a television presenter. Actually, that was my complete goal. And our careers teacher person at school, basically told
Sainsbury's, Tesco's.
Basically told me, people like you don't do that.
No, that's it, isn't it? People like you.
And to be fair, it was the 90s. People like me didn't do that. No. There wasn't representation across the media.
Meritocracy did. I mean, it did exist in the 60s and 70s, but it started disappearing again.
Yeah, it did.
But all the sociologists say this. Like, the meritocracy started disappearing around about. There's about mid 90s. It started where social mobility stopped.
Yeah.
And so people like you and I. Well, I'm 65. See, so I got 20-something years on you.
Not quite.
But whatever. It was encouraged.
Yeah.
But I think in the 90s, when we first moved here in 87, 88, I know there's a time when social mobility started doing that, flatlining, and then started to drop again. So people from our backgrounds, it was Tesco's, working in pubs, retail.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Tell me.
I believed them for a start, and so I didn't follow it. So everything that I've done now, you know, we were laughing and joking about, you know, I've done 10 years now with the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
I've had to build that on my own.
Well, tell me, how
getting,
did that?
getting
where
past
did
that.
Yeah, what did you do with that? It's really exciting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I can talk about Eurovision for a minute, because
Yeah,
that
please
also was
do.
a bit of an escape thing. I know we joke about it and what it is and what people think of it is. So I started watching it in the early 90s, pretty much when I went to Bishop Rhyndock was when I sort of then discovered this thing on television, which was everything I loved. It was music, it was language, it was culture, it was dance, it was spectacle, it was broadcasting, it was show business. It was
Yes.
everything I absolutely loved with this European and language slant to it. I mean, a friend of mine says Eurovision fans are not made, they're born. Like it will find you. If it's your thing, it will find you. And so I started watching it and enjoying it, and then looking at the sort of bigger elements to it. So I did media studies as an A-level. It was the first year they offered it at Bishop Rhyndock, and I wrote one of my media A-level papers on the breakup of Yugoslavia through the lens of the '93 Song Contest, because that was it was the first year we had countries competing that were former
remembered it.
Yugoslavia. 1992
Yeah, I
was
remembered it very clearly.
the last one we had as Yugoslavia. So I was interested in the cultural elements of it, the political elements of it, the more academic, if you want, elements of it. And it started bleeding into my school work and everything.
Really interesting.
Yeah, but it would take me a long time. Then I moved to America. So if I tell you about that, so I moved to America in 2000. I wanted to get out of Guildford. I was bored, if I'm being honest. I'd been told I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was broadcasting, TV, radio, media, you know. And that also, you're talking about the sort of social mobility side of it. In the 90s, there wasn't representation of women in the media who were not 6 foot, blonde,
No.
and a size 2.
No.
It didn't happen. It
No.
doesn't really happen today. I mean, if you ask people now, they'll tell you, well, Alison Hammond, but it still works today.
Sheila on LBC. She's unusual.
But like Alison Hammond has the TV big girl card. Like there's only one card.
Yeah.
Only one person can have it at the same time. You could have multiple Davina, Claudia, Tess. You could have multiples of them. But you can only have one large woman.
Yes, it's
You're
not.
not allowed.
It's not,
you can't have
no.
more than one. So Alison Hammond and I could never exist in the same ecosystem. It just doesn't it doesn't happen. But anyway, I love Alison. Good luck to her. She's doing a brilliant job. But so yeah, there was that. Was told I couldn't do what I wanted to do because I was from here. I went to a rubbish school and I was fat and I was ugly. So that was like that was that really.
Really hard. I sit here and I really find it
But
hard
that's what
to
I
hear
was
this.
told.
No,
So
it's- but
that's
it's,
what I believed. So I was like, right, what am I going to do? So I decided I would go to America for a year as a nanny. I thought that would be, you know, it would get me out of Guildford. I would get to go to America, which is somewhere I'd always wanted to go to. But I didn't really want to just go to sort of Florida for a week and see Disney World.
No.
Because Eurovision had taught me that there was always more to countries than was first presented to you. So I thought, what can I do? How can I get to America? So I found, do you remember they used to, maybe they still do, Camp America, where kids can go as like a summer camp counsellor. Well, they used to have a au pairing kind of program as well. So instead of just going for a camp for a summer, you could go for a year and work as an au pair. So I was like, well, that'll do. I mean, the complete irony is I'm not really a massive fan of children, but at the time it didn't really matter.
okay, everybody. She doesn't like.
No, I don't really like cats. They're not my favourite people.
No.
You know, in church, when you've got your groups of people that you sort of
Gravitate
identify
towards,
with
yes.
and gravitate towards, you know who mine are? Grumpy old men.
Grumpy old man.
Grumpy old men, I love them.
No
Give
wonder
me-
you get on with Jonathan.
Give me all the
Hey,
grumpy old men.
what about David? don't you leave him out of it.
No, but
He's not as grumpy as me, but
David's a weird one though, because I knew him when he wasn't as
A
old
grumpy
as
old
he
man.
is now. So
was he a grumpy young man?
I don't remember you being particularly grumpy. No,
He's not grumpy.
No, he's not
I'm
grumpy.
grumpy, but he's not grumpy. He has to live with me in the car, travelling on journeys and going, yeah, okay.
So no, so I decided I would go to America, do this 1 year as an au pair, and I went to a town called Newton, which is just outside of Boston, in Massachusetts. And while I was there, I started looking for a church to go to, as you do. Now I had grown up here at Emmanuel, and so I was sort of looking for a church relatively similar to
Yes.
the Emmanuel that I knew. And I never
Evangelical Light.
and I never sort of found one. Yeah.
LITE.
LITE. And I never kind of found one. So I had a brainwave one day and I thought, hang on, the Salvation Army, I know them because my friend and my friend was a Salvation Army
Officer.
not officer, soldier. And she had, with her mum, they had run Guides and Brownies within the Salvation Army on the Isle of Wight. And then over here, we'd started kind of doing some stuff with the Salvation Army here, and she dragged me into help and volunteer. And I quite enjoyed running sort of the guide company with her. We were at Westborough URC Church down here in Stoughton, but we were also affiliated to the Salvation Army in Guildford. So I knew the Salvation Army. I knew that they were a church. I knew that they were relatively, sort of socially aware, that kind of ilk. And everyone I knew was, pretty decent sort of person. So I started looking for whether there was a Salvation Army in America. Turns out there is a much bigger one than there is here.
America,
Yeah. So I started going to a church in Dorchester, which is an interesting part of Boston. It's the part of Boston that they tell you in the tourist books not to go to. It is gangland, it is where the kids are in gangs and there's all sorts of social deprivation. What you imagine of urban America, that is Dorchester and Roxbury, which is the sort of neighbouring. If the only reference that people have is the Wahlberg family, so Mark Wahlberg, the actor,
Mark Wahlberg.
and Zonnie Wahlberg.
The actress.
They are, the Wahlberg family, I think I wrote in the book, you couldn't move in Dorchester for finding someone that had either fought with a Wahlberg, slept with a Wahlberg, or was a Wahlberg. Like they were sort of prolific, huge Irish Catholic family, and Alma was the sort of matriarch mother of the family. So any of the stories that you hear of Mark and Donnie speaking about their kind of growing up is that's the neighborhood that I lived and worked in. After I started going there for church, then they offered me a job working for them as a youth pastor.
So just like that, was it over a period of weeks?
So I was there for as is always the case with many sort of churches, I was I sort of went the first week, and then it turned out that I was quite a useful sort of person. So by the second week I was on a rota.
Yes, that's right.
The third week I was singing in the worship band, and then you
were leading the whole organisation for USA by about Tuesday.
Basically, that's it. You're sort of sucked into it, really. I had been with them sort of for a few 9 months or so. The au pair program was for a year. I was with them for about 9 months when we started talking about like what was I going to do next, because my visa would run out.
Yeah.
So what was I going to do? And Sue, who ran the core in Dorchester where I was with her husband Bill, said, "Well, I can offer you a job, but I can't offer you a paycheck." And I said, "Oh, that's all right. Fine. A job's more important than the paycheck."
Were you able to? Had you got a green card to work over?
No,
there?
I had to come and change my visa, and that's where the sort of 9/11 story starts almost. So that happens in September. I'm due to finish at the end of that September. So
what year was this?
3 weeks after 2001.
2001, isn't it? Yeah.
So I was due to finish just after that happened, and needed to come back to the UK and change over my visa. September 11th happens on, unsurprisingly, the 11th of September. And I am then like caught as to what do I do, because the world, I don't always remember all of it correctly, but we knew that like getting visas and stuff into the US had become terribly problematic in a very short space of time.
Yes.
But I needed to leave. If I didn't leave on the visa that I was on, I wouldn't be allowed back.
No.
What we used to do was go to Canada, because you could get an exit stamp over the border, go to Montreal or Toronto for a weekend and then come back, or Quebec, and then come back. So a lot of our students used to do that.
The border tightened almost immediately, didn't it?
It all became really difficult. And I was like, I probably do need to go back to the UK, because at least I've got somewhere to stay there. If I get stuck in Canada, I'm really stuck.
Yes.
If I get stuck in the UK, fine. It's fine. I can make that work. So I came back to the UK. I phoned the American Embassy. So this would have been like November time. I phoned the American Embassy in London and said, "Look, what's the situation? This is what I need to do. I've got all my paperwork, blah, blah, blah." And she said, "Send it in." She said, "It's probably going to take longer." It used to be about 3 months sort of 12 weeks for issuing. She said, expect it to be 4 to 6 months. I said, well, that's okay. I can get a job, temporary job here while that all goes through. I sent that in on, I can even tell you the days. I sent my paperwork in on the Monday. On the Wednesday, I had an envelope back from the American embassy, and I thought, oh, I've put something, something's wrong. They're questioning something, or it's been thrown out immediately because it's not valid or whatever. And I opened it, and there was nothing like that. And I opened my passport, and the visa had been issued the day before.
Goodness gracious.
Like 2 months after 9/11, I got a 5-year religious worker visa to go back to America. So I was back before Thanksgiving, which was incredible. Yeah. And you know, do I believe in signs and symbols and stuff? I don't know, but certainly at the time I did. I was like,
I think you should.
I'm in the right place.
Believe in them.
Yeah.
Believe in them, but they are rare.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that the idea that they're happening all the time, that for me, in my life, and a lot of other people's lives, is not true. For some people, they like to think it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But actually, the true signs happen very rarely.
Yeah.
Look in the Bible.
Sure.
And in the Bible, they're rare.
No, I think you're right. I did take it at the time. I was like, okay, this is a sign, if ever there was one, that where I'm supposed to be right now is the United States of America. And so I booked a flight and went back out there. And so I was back in time for Thanksgiving that same year, which was unbelievable.
Then why? How did you end up?
How did I end up
from that
Ground
in the
Zero?
Salvation Army, working for the church?
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens. The event happens.
Yes.
You arrived at
So that had already happened.
It already happened.
In the September. I came back in
You
November,
came in November,
got my visa, went back to work in fundraising for the Corps in Dorchester for the Christmas fundraising campaign.
Yeah. And then?
And then, so we go back into, again, so I've got this job without a paycheck, but the thing was we can probably find a grant to pay for at least some of it, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, we can make it work. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm pretty chill, like, you know, whatever, it's fine. And so we got some funding for me to be the youth pastor for 20 hours a week. So there I was working with these like massive, like huge teens, like Afro-American, you know, teens, and they were great. I loved them. They were just gorgeous. And so Sue had been to a meeting at the downtown headquarters in Boston, came back, skipped through the door. I wrote about this in the book. Skipped through the door with with a, you know, so nonchalantly, and said, "Oh, I've put your name down for the Ground Zero team." Excuse me. What? Wait, back up. You know, she'd sort of carried on walking as she was saying it. Back up.
As though it was just another piece of...
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, this is the thing.
Like doing what?
Explain.
Yeah, exactly.
Just explain to people what Ground Zero was, just for those of you who've forgotten.
Yeah, so Ground Zero was what the World Trade Center site became known as after 9/11, and it's a word. It's a little bit of an awkward word amongst the community because it's traditionally used in nuclear.
Yes.
Nuclear events. They call those Ground Zero, but it sort of culturally became known as that. So whilst it's not hugely comfortable, it is what people know it as. So it's kind of what we.
So you suddenly find yourself put down. The name is put down, and you said, "Well, what?
Yeah.
What am I going as?"
I think I said, "What the."
Yeah.
You know.
What the Dickens?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having got over that, she said...
Yeah. She said, "Oh, you probably won't go. Don't get too excited." I was like, I'm not excited about it. This is not...
I'll stay here and play with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. So she said, you know, you might not end up going, but I put your name down. And I was like, what? Why? She said, well, because you're useful, you're competent, you're calm in a crisis, you'd be able to do it. Well, okay then. So then, thinking it might be a long time or it might never come, it literally, the call came within a few days after that. Like, oh, you're going to be on the team from Massachusetts. We're going down to do logistics on site. So we went down, understanding that we would be the logistics team. So carting supplies out here, there, and everywhere, managing supply. When we arrive in the Salvation Army staging centre, which is on West 14th Street in the core there, which is a big, huge Salvation Army building. I'd been there before.
I have been there.
Have you?
I went to the Twin Towers just before they were that. I was in New York. That was right, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
You all right, Sue?
Yeah, just I'm aware of the time.
It's
the
okay.
time's
She's
ticking
like,
on.
you two need to stop.
Sorry. Sorry. I remember going there. Right, go.
She's telling us off. so I went down there, and when we were standing in line to get our like badge and our credentials, suddenly they were talking about us being the chaplains team. I'm like, excuse me, what? No. I have no qualification for that, no experience of that, no. I'm 24. I am not
don't know what
old
to do.
enough or qualified enough or brave enough or anything enough to be able to be a chaplain at the World Trade Center. That is a ridiculous thing.
What they would be required you to do?
Well, at that time, we didn't really know, and we didn't really have the ability to say no. So it was like, well, here you go. Here's your badge. Get on the thing and go down to site. Oh, well, okay then. As we got on site, that's when we were then discovering what actually that meant. So to put it like the most easy way to understand it is when a recovery was made. Now, bear in mind, this is February, March time afterwards. So we're not talking a couple of days later. We're talking quite a long time later. And we all know what nature does. So whenever a discovery was made, it was the job of a chaplain to go down and pray over the remains and lead the recovery procession out of
In a
out of the
in a
trade
respectful.
centre. Yeah, exactly. But it was very much like you wouldn't know because we're not. I don't want to be too gory. Like we're not finding whole people.
We're finding
here.
bits of people.
We're finding bits of people. So we have no idea whether that person was Jewish, Christian, Muslim.
Nothing.
Nothing. Like
No.
so it's about keeping it quite generic but quite respectful. Obviously respectful, but like you wouldn't go too heavy down the God Jesus route unless. So we were, when I was there, we were at a period where we were finding quite a lot of firefighters. They'd got down to excavating in the South Tower, what had been the fire command centre. So we were finding recovery workers then who had identification.
Yes.
So in that case, you could
could
be a
know.
little bit more, sort of informed with what you were doing. And then the remains would be put into a body bag and taken up to the morgue as all the rest of the building site was taken over to Staten Island to the Fresh Kills, it was called. That's where they sort of took and got rid of the building, except the little bit that I've got at home.
Oh.
I've got a little bit of the World Trade Center. So that was quite.
Oh really? Oh, you've got. Oh, you.
I got a little.
But
souvenir.
it won't go public. It's fine. Nobody will know.
Well, I wrote about it in the book and put a picture of it.
Oh
so
right.
it's
Oh
my
right.
own
No.
fault, really.
Well, hey, they're not going to get it back now.
No, they're not.
That's the
I don't think-
repatriation
I
of
don't
bits
think
of the
they-
World Trade Center
I don't
is
think
not
they'd
going to
want
be.
it now. I think they're all right. So no, that was really short, funny story. So one night, one of the rescue recovery workers came in, and I'd sort of gotten to know him over the time we'd been there. He came in and he was like, "Have you got a bit yet?" I'm like, "Have I got
bit.
what? A bit of what?" He said, "A bit of the building." I said, "No." I said, "Of course not. We've been told we're not allowed to take anything off the site. We're not allowed to bring anything onto site unless it's our work. We're not allowed to take anything off." He said, "Everyone's got a bit. I'll go and cut you a bit." So he goes out of the shed, cuts off this bit of rebar steel from the South Tower, brings it back into me and says, "Here, put that in your bag. Take it with you."
So you took it back and you took it, got it.
Your dad's made it into a
My
candlestick.
dad has made it into a candle holder. Yeah, it's a sort of hexagon piece. As the building fell down, the rebar is bent,
Yeah.
and it's bent into this sort of five, not hexagon, pentagon. That's it. So it's bent into this like shape, and then my dad's made it into a candle holder. My mum did a bit of glass painting, so every year on 9/11, I like the candle in the piece that's surrounded by the World Trade Center.
What's interesting now? Those are the facts.
Yes.
I'm always interested in. What did you feel?
I don't know. Exactly that. I felt every kind and type of human emotion I think that is possible during my time working there. I felt, to a point, this might sound strange, but like I felt good because I felt like I was doing something constructive,
Yes.
something good. I was able to take this hideous thing and at least for myself make something good out of it. And yet I also felt every kind of hideousness of emotion that you can, sort of sad, bereft, abandoned. Like I think I said, what the Dickens, to God, an awful lot that time. I lost faith and found faith and lost it again and found it again, all within sort of a few weeks being there. And I would say actually across the 25 years after that as well.
Yes.
Like it's almost the midpoint in my life because I'm 50 next year.
Yeah.
And it's 25 years ago. So it's almost the midpoint in
It's
in my
very,
life.
it's a very, we would call it a fulcrum for your life. I think and it is that. It's the fulcrum now. It's the balancing point it's the bit that actually matters that has defined you.
Yeah,
You know,
for
because
sure.
your childhood was one thing, and you know, loneliness and the Eurovision is another thing, but then you see life really up close.
Yeah.
And you see the horror that is one of the. I mean, you were part of. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic now building or sites in the world. Today, I mean, what else is there at the moment that in the Western world, particularly, that you would say of an experience we all remembered? We all remembered.
Everyone remembers.
9/11. We all remember what you were doing. I don't know what. We were just sitting watching this, and I kept saying, "This is Sue," and the boys were here. There was September the 11th, so they were.
They were at school.
It was
Because
school.
you said in your book that it was weird because it happened in the morning.
Yeah.
But for us,
You
it
on
was
screen?
the afternoon.
I mean, it did. Go on, you ask.
So I'm curious, and I'm sure other people are curious, in that you call it Orchids from Hawaii.
I do, yes.
Why have you called the book Orchids from Hawaii?
So I called the book Orchids from Hawaii. While we were there, the actual, who ended up being the logistics team, their sort of changeover point was at a slightly different time to ours. And so there was one team that were there, and I don't even remember where they were from actually, Montana or Idaho or somewhere out there. And their shift, like their team changeover, happened sort of almost at the midpoint of us being there. And the new team came from Hawaii. And they brought with them boxes and boxes and boxes of these orchid leis, which I know people will be familiar with when you see them wearing the
Draped
flower
around your
garlands
neck,
around
yeah.
their necks and everything, exactly. And they started handing them out to everybody, like everyone had an orchid lei. So the colour palette for Ground Zero, as you can imagine if you don't remember seeing it on TV, but the colour palette was browns, greys, blacks, nothing. And I was on night shift as well, so it was, dark grey, dark brown, dark black. And then as people were getting them, they couldn't wear them around their necks because they didn't really work with machine equipment, but they were hanging them over like the mirrors on the vans and on the hook things on the trucks and bits on the fire engine. So then you would look around and there was the palette was this like browns and greys with just like these bright pink like flowers everywhere. It was incredible. And then at the Palm Sunday service, I made a whole bunch of green palms. So then they were like adding the palms to the leis. So we were sort of colouring the sites out, me and this team from Hawaii. So, and I always knew if ever I was going to write the book, and that's taken me a long time to do, I kind of always knew right from the start that I was going to call it Orchids from Hawaii.
And you actually close the book by talking about looking for orchids.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think, like you say, this was one of the Western world's most prolific terrorist attacks and hideous incidents. I think we can probably call it that. Yeah, even there was those little pink orchids that were suggesting that life goes on. There is light and colour if you look for it. There is hope. So I think I didn't want to get too sort of cheesy and Christian about it because I'm not that sort of person. But I think it is fair to say that in the most hideous of circumstances, whether it's a massive incident, like global thing like that, or just our own personal tragedies, there are always
There's light
orchids
somewhere.
in inverted commas.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
image,
this is it.
actually. It's a lovely image.
Yeah.
Sue came out with that, and I thought it's so beautiful. I mean, it's the killer question. Why did you call it that, and what's it about?
It's the first thing people ask.
And then say, and I'm going to just say to you that, I mean, I try not to be cheesy in any way. Hope that's my, my Christianity. I wear it, and I try not to be cheesy. On the other hand, I don't think it's anything cheesy to say that from darkness can come light. We said this, that leaf that you were hiding behind, that bush that you were hiding behind, was reaching out for the light. And that is what we are all doing.
Yeah.
And we're all of us watching tonight, we are all searching for, in our own darknesses, in many of our lives, there are massive areas of darkness. Maybe health or relationships or whatever it is. And so actually your story, and this is why I recommend it to people, because this is not a story where you give this triumphal...
good grief, no. Good grief. There was no way it was going to come up to it. And therefore, Jesus loves you. No, we don't come to that conclusion.
No, what we come...
It's real, actually.
We come
it's
that there
real.
is hope. There is hope, and I will hold to that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hold you that. But, that song I sung, there is a hope, the everlasting hope of liberty. Because that actually, that's not far from where the Liberty Bell is.
Yeah.
It's put right there in the stock exchange. They believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of that last one I would question. But nevertheless, what I think you highlight in the book, and I think it's taken you so long because you have to come to terms with it, and you will spend your whole life coming to terms with that moment. But we're very glad that you. It's now
I know. Sorry, everyone.
I'm going to just sing a song, and I think God of the Moon sounds. Do you think it's too much? Or we should just go home?
I think you should. Yeah, I think you should finish with one of the ones you would finish with. And
Go peaceful.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to finish with.
Can we just let me just go on the piano? And Lisa, it's very illuminating to see a woman who is so broad, and yet it hones down. It comes right down to this thing that we were talking about here. This was pivotal for you. Why did you go there? Well, you went for what you were doing. Yeah. And what you did, I'm sure, for the people that were there, who had to dig them out. And when you brought some kind of whatever it was you said, who knows? Yeah. That comfort brought them comfort. You're not obviously singing to dead bodies. You're giving them respect. Yeah. But those people who had to dig and keep digging, keep finding, the depth of how that has affected them.
Oh, for sure.
Will never get it off their mind.
For sure.
But I think you brought hope. I think you brought those orchids, okay, and you started decorating. You did some great things there, all right. I'm just saying to that girl hiding behind the bush, see what you've done.
yeah. No, I do think about her sometimes.
Yeah, well, see what you've done, and you look out at the playground, and I ask, what have they done? What have you done? Yeah. All right, what have you done? Look at what you've done, and actually, God can use stuff. But I love that image where you say, I believed in him, I believe in it, I lost my faith, I found it. I lost my faith, I found it. I used to say to people, do you believe, do you doubt? I said, doubt? Yes, I doubt 1,000 times a day, but I believe 1,001. Yeah. So it's just about that. And it's that one edge of belief where I see the world is a hurting place. And yet what you've done and what that book, and I heartily recommend you to go on, it's up there.
No, it was up there. Rachel's moved it because she thought you were finishing.
No,
so.
can you
put it back up again,
put it back
darling?
up again, please.
It's easy. Orchidsfromhawaii.net. It's an easy one.
Okay, they'll need that. So just put it on there, Orchids from Hawaii.
Because you're quite right, people. We have just scratched the surface of what she's written.
Sorry.
And it's no, it's not your fault. It's what happens. But buy the book and read all about it. Read all about Rachel, tired. Sorry. Lisa's journey up to getting out there, all that she went through, and then what happened afterwards. And it's worth reading, I can tell you. It's worth reading. So,
how much is it, by the way?
On pre-order is $15.95. Got a little bit of a discount.
A mere bagatelle.
Little discount.
And we'll put it into the group as well.
Oh, thank you.
So,
what we should do, yes, we'll keep that up, and we'll remind people. It'll go on the site. And we'll remind people of that. If you also see on your screens tonight, the lovely Rachel has put up the charity that we are supporting at the moment through this room. We're on the top left-hand side, At a Loss, the bereavement charity that we are trying to help promote. And we ask you continually to look at that. Go and look at the website and see what you can do to help, and if you'd like to financially help it, because it needs this, and such a beautiful and a wonderful charity. She's come back in, I think, because the 10th year is in the autumn, so she'll come back in and talk about that. And this is by Paul Field, and we send love to Paul Field and to Ruth, particularly, as they're having fun and games with parents and the loss of a parent, and they're going to have to bury him soon. So God bless you with this one. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. Lisa, round his heart. May you be known by love. Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes. God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known. All of you out there, for this rest of this week and the time that we're not going to see you, may you be known by love, and the Lord bless you and keep you. Lord, make his face to shine upon you and give you his peace, and the Lord draw near and turn his face towards you and be gracious unto you. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you, Lisa Jane, for being part of our JV Live from the Steinway Room, show 201, not 2001. That's way into 2040. And I'll be dead and still be doing it on our own, and David will be still teching on his trolley. And Rachel will only be 15. And that'll be fine. Rachel, to all of you, thank you very much. Sue, thank you for being on the cameras tonight.
Can I just say happy birthday to Tony? Tony Williams.
Sorry, Tony Williams.
82 today.
82. How could you be 82,
82,
Tony?
my darling.
Gosh.
Happy birthday for today.
Thank you for being there. Sorry we haven't been to see you recently,
No.
Tony. We must do a concert down in
Yeah.
in
The
the
forest.
in the
In the
new. I
forest.
need to get to the forest. I do
In the
need to get
forest.
to the forest. I do. So, God bless you and thank
Good night,
you.
everyone. Go
Thank
safely.
you. Thank you very much, Lisa Jane, and God bless you. Bye bye now.